Hey guys, this is Dhruv and welcome back to my YouTube channel Programming Protein. So guys, this is the basically second part of our previous video, that is what are algorithms and flowchart in C programming language. So let's begin. So guys, in this video we are going to learn, or we are going to do some advanced version of of algorithms and flowchart of some C programs. So first of all, let's move on to our topic, that is if nested if statements. So in this tutorial, in this video we are going to do some algorithms and flowcharts of majorly two topics, that is nested if and loop statement. So first of all, talk about nested if. So nested if is that in our previous video we discussed that what are if statement. If are the decision making statements. So if you have to check or if you have to make a decision that either this is true or this is true. So if this statement is true, then compiler execute this statement, and if this is statement true, then compiler execute that statement. So in this way there is a method in our C compiler that we have nested if. So this is the syntax of nested if. So first the compiler goes to the statement number 1. So it checks that the statement 1 is true or false. If the statement number 1 is true, then compiler goes into the nested if 1 and check the statement number 2. If the statement number 2 is also true, then it executes statement number 3, and after that statement number 4. Now let's take another look that if the statement number 1 is true and the statement number 2 is false, so the statement connected to this if this particularly if is not executed, is will not execute. So if this statement is false, then this statement will not execute and this statement will execute. If this statement is not true, then compiler does not execute anything, because if this is not true, then compiler does not go into the nested if ones or into the braces. So this is about the nested if. Now move on to our first question, that is write an algorithm and draw a flowchart to first find greatest number among 3. This is 3 given numbers. Okay, so this program has to be done by the nested if concept. So first of all, let's take a look on its particular algorithm. So this is the algorithm of this particular problem. So in the step 1, obviously we start the program as we do in our all previous problems. So in the step number 2, we input 3 numbers by the user, because we have to work on these 3 variables. So in the step number 3, we check that the first number is greater than second number. If first number is greater than second number, then it goes to the step number 4, otherwise it goes to the step number 5. This is the decision making statement. If the condition is true, then it goes to step number 4. If condition is false, then it goes to step number 5. Now what is the step number 4? If in step number 4 we again check the condition that the first number is greater than the third number. If the first number is in the step number 3, first number is greater than the second one, then it this condition is true, then it goes to step number 4 and check that the first number is also greater than the third number. If this condition is also true, then it goes to the step number 6. So what is the step number 6? Step number 6 is that display A is greatest. So suppose that if A is greater than the B and A is also greater than the C, so obviously A is the greatest among all the threes. So it displays A is greatest and go to step number 9, which is the end. So by this problem, it does not go on the, if the condition is true, then it does not go to the step number 5, and if does not does not go to the step number 5, so it does not go into the step number 7th. So by these statement it ends the problem. Now take a look on the other side, that if A is not greater than B. In the step number 3 is not greater than B. So this condition is false. So it goes to the step number 5. Okay, it goes to the step number 5. It does not go to the step number 4. It directly goes to the step number 5. Then it again check the condition if B is greater than C. So B is greater than A, and now it check that B is greater than C. So obviously B is greatest among all the three numbers. So it goes to the step number 8 and display B is greatest. Okay, and then again go to step number 9 and the program will end. Now if A is greater than B, then it goes to the step number 4 and then check A is greater than C. So let's suppose that A is not greater than C. So A is greater than B but not greater than C. So obviously A is middle of the C and B. So C is the greatest because A is greater than B and A is smaller than C. So obviously C is the greatest among all. So it goes to the step number 7 and display C is greatest, and again goes to the step number 9 and program will end. Now the last condition is A is not greater than B. So it goes to the step number 5. Now B is not greater than C. So it goes to the step number 7 and display C is greatest. Okay, I think this is the complicated algorithm because it is the advanced version of our algorithms. So in the previous video we learned very basic algorithm. So this is the actual thing which you have to do in your programming sessions. So let's take a look on this algorithm and try to understand what I want to express in this particular algorithm. Okay, so now move on to our flow chart of this particular problem. So this is the particular flow chart for that particular problem. So I don't think now I have to explain what the figure used for what the purpose. Now you can understand for what purpose which figure is used for what purposes. So now I only explain what the step used for what purpose. So the first step is to start. So first step is start. Then it goes to the second step, that input A, B and C. That after the second step it goes to the decision making statement, that it makes a decision whether A is greater than B or not. If the condition is true, then it goes to this statement. Then again check A is greater than C. Then if A is greater than B and also greater than C, then both the condition is true and it display A is greatest, and it goes to the end statement and program will end. So the point which you have to remember, that if this condition is true, then the false statement will never execute in the program. In any program, the false statement never execute if the condition is true, or if the condition is false, then true statement will never execute in the programs. So if this condition is true, then it will goes to this. If this condition is true, then it will goes to this. If this condition is false, then it goes to this, and so on. So this is the flowchart of that particular problem to find greatest number among the three given numbers. So take a look on this and try to understand. Okay, so let's move on to our second problem. Now the second question is about the loop statement. So what is loop statement? So if you have to execute a single statement multiple times, then you have to use the loop statement. So we can say that execution of a single statement multiple times is known as looping. So for looping purpose we have three loops, that is for loop, while loop, do while loop. We can use any of the loop for our problem solving purposes. So first of all, let's take a look on our question, on our first question, that is write an algorithm and draw flow chart to print numbers from 1 to 100. So in this statement, if you print 1 2 3 4 5, then you have to write steps 1 2 3 4 up to 100 steps. So it is very complicated for you to write step 100 steps in your algorithm. So what you can do is print only one statement and repeat the same statement 100 times. It is easy for you, and the compiler does this step or does this process automatically. You have to only write the starting point and the ending point to run the to run the statements from the starting point to the ending point. Okay, so we will discuss in our next video that what is for loop, while loop and do while loop in details. So let's take a look on how to solve these type of problems. So this is the particular algorithm to solve this problem. So first step is start, obviously. Second step is to set I equal to 1. That means we initialize a variable I with the starting point is, that is 1. So I equal to 1, then it goes to the step number 3 and display I. Okay, so it display 1. Now it goes to the step number 4 and it set the value of I equal to I plus 1. Sorry, here we have to put set I equal to I plus 1, that is I initially the value of I is 1, so I equal to 1 plus 1, that is 2. Now I is increased by 1, so I equal to I plus 1, that is I equal to 2. Now it goes to the step number 5 and it makes a decision that if I is less than or equal to 100, sorry, 100, I if I is less than equal to 100, so when the I is 1 plus 1 equal to, that is 2, so 2 is less than 100 obviously, so it goes to the again goes to the step number 3, that is it display 2, then it increase I by 1, that is I equal to 3. Then it check 3 is less than 100, so the condition is true, so it again goes to step number 3, and so on, so on, so on, so on. And after, when I is equals to 100, I is equals to 101, that the condition false, and it goes to step number 6, that is end the problem. So this is the very short algorithm. In this ends in steps 6 step. There is also a way which which we can also reduce the steps, but that is a typical way. So this is a very simple way which I understand, which I explain you, that first initialize I equal to I is with 1, and then check when the I is less than 100, and then print I and increase this is I by 1. So this is the problem of this is the algorithm of this particular problem. Now take a look on flowchart. So this is the flowchart of that particular problem. And then the first the first step is to start, then set I equal to 1, then display, then set I equal to I plus 1, then check, then this is the decision making statement. It will check that I's value is less than 100 or not. If the condition is true, then it goes to this, and if the condition is false, then it will end the problem. So these are some questions related to the flow looping statements and nested if statements. So if you really want to learn these concepts, you have to do some problems by your own. If you not practice, then you cannot understand the concept of these particular topics. So if you want to learn something, then keep practice and keep doing these type of problems by your own. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, then don't forget to give this video a like. If you have any query regarding this content, and comment down below. I will try to solve your problems. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, then do subscribe please. Thank you.